Hello sports fans, it is Tuesday, September the 9th, year 2014, and as always, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. Great to be back with you guys. NFL picks coming up shortly. Let's recap what went on last night with the big Monday Night Football doubleheader. Let's start with the early game in Detroit, where the Detroit Lions just whacked the New York Giants 35-14. Detroit can play with anyone. They have a lot of talent. They have the quarterback. They have the big receiver. They have compliments to him now. They have Reggie Bush. They can do some things on defense with Sue and Fairley. You just worry about Detroit self-destructing in a big spot. You saw a little bit of that in the first half last night. Detroit is up at the half, 14-7. They should be up by 1,000,000 points. Calvin Johnson had a huge first half. But what do they keep doing? They keep taking key penalties that let the Giants hang around. So it's only 14-7 at the half, but in the second half, Eli starts to turn the ball over. Detroit pulls away and cruises to a 35-14 win. Like I said, Detroit, a lot of talent, can play with anyone. Have to stop shooting themselves in the foot. As far as the Giants, what a complete mess. The Giants are running a new offense. They look totally lost. Eli, who's won a couple Super Bowls, had a bad year last year, didn't have a good preseason, looked lost last night, turning the ball over, didn't know what they wanted to do on offense. Cruz looks frustrated. The Giants look lost. I think it could be a long year for the New York Giants. I didn't like what I saw at all from them last night. So Detroit gets a very nice win. Giants, all kinds of question marks. As far as the late game last night in the desert out in Arizona, the Arizona Cardinals come storming back and they beat the San Diego Chargers 18-17. I'll tell you, if you're a San Diego fan, you got to be sick. How many times has San Diego had an awful loss the last few years? Every time you look up, it seems San Diego has had a bad loss. San Diego, like Detroit, they have a lot of talent. They just got to get to that next level. They got to get over the hump. Last night, there's a defensive struggle in the first half. Arizona's up 6-3. San Diego takes complete control of the game in the third quarter. They score a couple touchdowns. They're up 17-6. You think San Diego's in great shape? Sure enough, here comes Arizona. They get 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They take the 18-17 lead. San Diego's got a shot to drive down the field at the end to kick the game-winning field goal, but Arizona's defense stands tall and stops them, and Arizona gets a very nice come-from-behind victory, 18-17 in the desert. Oh, tough loss for San Diego. They have talent. They just got to get over the hump. They just got to get to that next level, but they do have a lot of talent. Very tough loss last night. Very nice win for Arizona. A couple other notes. Of course, you saw Ray Rice was cut. No surprise. Once that video, went viral last night, you knew the Ravens were going to cut him. No defending Ray Rice. I mean, no defending him at all. He had to be cut by the Ravens. He has to be banned for at least this season. I mean, if not longer. There's no defending him at all. Commissioner Roger Goodell dropped the ball on this from the beginning, only giving Ray Rice a 2-game suspension. Then after the backlash, he changes the whole policy. I mean, Roger Goodell was just absolutely clueless in this whole matter. So Ray Rice suspended on the field. That is going to hurt Baltimore. Ray Rice is a good player, so that is a big loss for Baltimore. Also, I saw Mathis is out for the year for the Colts. He tore his Achilles working out. Remember, Mathis missed the game against Denver the other night. He's serving a 4-game suspension, but he was working out and tore his Achilles. That's a huge loss for the Colts. He's their best pass rusher, one of the best pass rushers in the game. You can't replace guys like that. Huge loss for the Colts. Okay, without further ado, let's get to our NFL picks for Week 2. I am really excited about the NFL season being back in business. Let's get to the picks right now for Week 2. Let's go to the Thursday night game in Baltimore. The Baltimore Ravens are -3.5 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Of course, no Ray Rice. We'll see if Baltimore's distracted in any way. Remember, Baltimore 0-1. They came off the loss to Cincinnati. Pittsburgh 1-0. They hung on and beat Cleveland. You know one thing about this game. It's always close. It can go either way, and it's decided by 3 points. The spread is 3.5. The game could go either way. I will take Pittsburgh with the 3.5. It'll be one of those 23-20 games that comes right down to the end. Either team could win, but I will take Pittsburgh with the 3.5 points. Let's go to the Sunday games. Let's go down to Carolina, where the Carolina Panthers at home are -3.5 against the Detroit Lions. Both teams 1-0. Cam Newton is playing. You wonder how he's going to play. He didn't play last week. He's got the bruised ribs. You wonder how he's going to play. I think this is a very tough game. I never trust Detroit, but I did like what I saw from them last night. I am getting 3 points. I think this is a 3-point game either way. I'm going to take Detroit here with the 3.5. I know Detroit can burn you at any time, but I was impressed with them last night. Got to see how Cam Newton plays. We haven't seen him this year. Got to see how he plays. A little shaky there maybe. I'll take Detroit with the 3.5 points. Let's go up to Buffalo. Here's an intriguing game. The Buffalo Bills -1.5 against the Dolphins. Both teams 1-0. Miami beats New England in Week 1. Buffalo goes on the road and beats Chicago. This is one of the toughest games of the weekend. I mean, what a tough game to pick. I'm going to take Miami. I'm going to take Miami reluctantly, but I'm going to take them. I'm going to say Miami's a little ahead of Buffalo right now, just by a tad. So I'm going to take Miami. This is a really, really intriguing game. Winner of this game is already 2-0. Let's go down to Washington. Here's a beautiful game. The Washington Redskins at home, -6 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. And after watching Washington last week, you have to wonder how they're 6-point favorites over anyone. That shows you the state of Jacksonville. Of course, Jacksonville blew a 17-0 lead to Philly last week. Washington lost. I mean, they looked absolutely terrible last week down in Houston, only scored 6 points. If Washington's going to win a game, I would think it would be at home against Jacksonville. I mean, if they can't beat Jacksonville again at home, they can't beat anyone. I am going to take Washington here. I still can't believe I'm giving giving up 6 points here with the Redskins. Let RG3 do his thing. Don't make him a pocket passer. Let him run around, create, make plays. Please, Washington. I'm going to take Washington -6 over Jacksonville in just an awful game. Let's go to Tennessee, where the Tennessee Titans are -3.5 against the Dallas Cowboys. Tennessee had the big road win in Kansas City. Dallas got smashed by the 49ers at home. I can't take Dallas. I just can't. They can't stop anyone. Romo's always throwing interceptions. I can't trust them. They cannot stop anyone, Dallas. Their defense is horrendous, and Romo always throws a big interception. I will take Tennessee here to go 2-0. Tennessee -3.5. Let's go to the Meadowlands in New Jersey, not too far from here, where the New York Giants have their home opener. They are -2.5 over the Arizona Cardinals. I'm taking Arizona. I think Arizona's a better team. I think the Giants look absolutely clueless on offense last night. I don't think they know what's going on. Like I said, Eli lost. Cruz looks frustrated. I can't take the Giants here. I was impressed with Arizona's comeback. I'm going to take Carson Palmer and Arizona to go on the road and beat the New York Giants. Arizona +2.5. All right, let's go to Minnesota, where the New England Patriots are -3.5 against the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings, of course, stomped the Rams last week. New England lost to Miami. Remember, Minnesota playing outdoors at University of Minnesota this year while they build their new dome, no Metrodome this year. You have to think New England's going to respond, right? I mean, it's only 3.5 points. You can't see New England going 0-2. Come on, New England's got to respond here. Look for Brady to have a big day. I think New England responds, gets in the win column. They beat Minnesota at the University of Minnesota. Let's go to Cleveland, the Dog Pound, one of my favorite stadiums in all of the NFL, with the New Orleans Saints on -6 against the Cleveland Browns. New Orleans had the tough loss in Atlanta. Cleveland came back against Pittsburgh but fell a little short. You have to think New Orleans is going to win, right? I know New Orleans is not a good road team, but come on, New Orleans. You have to beat Cleveland. I mean, come on, you can't go 0-2 here. Have to beat Cleveland. I think New Orleans offense a little too much for Cleveland. If Pittsburgh put up 30 on Cleveland, I think New Orleans is good for at least 35. So I'm going to put New Orleans in the win column this week. I'm going to say New Orleans -6 over Cleveland in the Dog Pound. Let's go to Cincinnati, where the Cincinnati Bengals are -5 over the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons, of course, had the very nice win against the Saints. Cincinnati, very strange game against Baltimore. They do get the win, but they left so many points on the table, kicking field goals left and right. I mean, Cincinnati's got to start converting some of these chances in the red zone. Spread's 5.5 here. If you asked me who I thought was going to win, I would say Cincinnati at home. The spread's a little high for me, 5.5. Plus Cincinnati, I still have it in my mind that they kept kicking field goals last week when they should have had touchdowns, and the next thing I knew, Baltimore was leading the game. So I am going to reluctantly take Atlanta with the 5.5 points. I would say Cincinnati wins, but I'm going to take Atlanta with the 5.5 points. Let's go down to Tampa Bay, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are -4.5 against the St. Louis Rams. Tampa Bay lost at home to Carolina last week. St. Louis just got bombed last week by Minnesota. I mean, we know Bradford's out for the year. St. Louis looked like the worst team in football last week. That's how bad they were. I can't take St. Louis, not off the performance last week. I know Tampa's no great team, but I will take Tampa at home to beat St. Louis. I can't take St. Louis after you get smashed by the Vikings at home. We don't know what quarterback's playing. It could be the second string, could be the third string. I will take Tampa here. All right, let's go to San Diego, where the Seattle Seahawks are -6.5 against the San Diego Chargers. Chargers have the heartbreaking loss last night. Seattle plastered Green Bay on Thursday Night Football last week. We know Seattle's the best team in football. I'm going to take San Diego here with the 6.5. Now, I think Seattle's going to probably win. They're going to pull it out. But you know one thing about San Diego? Either way, they're always in the game. It's always some crazy ending. I mean, I'm sure Seattle will find a way to win, with a last-second field goal at the end. But San Diego's always in these crazy games like they were last night. I expect the same thing here. I expect San Diego to hang around. I think Seattle wins a squeaker. I'll take San Diego with the 6.5 points. Let's go out to Oakland, where the Houston Texans are -2.5 against the Oakland Raiders. Oakland lost to the Jets last week. Houston did win at home against Washington. Remember, Clowney out the next 6 weeks. I'm going to take Houston's defense here, despite Clowney being out. I'm going to take Houston's defense, with Watt and Cushing to shut down the rookie quarterback Carr. I can't trust the Raiders. They didn't do much against the Jets last week. I can't believe I'm taking Houston here. Believe it or not, if Houston wins this game, they match their win total from a year ago. I think they're going to do it. I think Houston wins. I will take Houston -2.5 over Oakland. Let's go out to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, where the Green Bay Packers at home are -8.5 against the New York Jets. Jets, like I just said, beat the Raiders at home. Green Bay got stomped in the second half by Seattle. I don't love Green Bay's offensive line, but I think Green Bay is just better than the Jets, especially at home, especially coming off a loss. I think the Jets are walking into a snake pit here. I think this is going to be Green Bay's day. I think the Jets can handle the weak to mediocre teams, the average teams. Once you start getting to the better teams, I think that's where the Jets are going to have trouble. I think Green Bay is definitely one of those better teams. I think Green Bay rebounds here. They win at home. They beat the New York Jets. Green Bay -8.5. Let's go out to Denver, where the Denver Broncos are -12.5 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Denver hung on Sunday Night Football against the Colts. Chiefs looked absolutely awful against Tennessee at home. I can't take Kansas City here. Pick your score. How many points is Denver going to score in this game? 42, 49? I see Denver rolling over Kansas City. Could be a long year for the Chiefs. Let's go out to San Francisco. This is the Sunday night game where the San Francisco 49ers are -7 over the Chicago Bears. Chicago lost inexplicably at home to Buffalo in overtime. San Francisco, of course, plastered Dallas down in the Big D. San Francisco going into a new stadium on Sunday night. They're not going to be in the old Candlestick Park anymore, moving into their new digs on Sunday night. I think they are going to be flying on Sunday night because of that. I think San Francisco is the second best team in football behind Seattle. I know San Francisco has a lot of guys out right now, but I think they're going to be flying with that new stadium. The crowd's going to be going nuts. Didn't like what I saw from the Chicago defense last week, so I'm going to take San Francisco -7 against Chicago. And on Monday Night Football, the Indianapolis Colts -3 over the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I said, the Colts, huge loss, losing Mathis. Colts lose to Denver last week. Philly rallies and beats Jacksonville last week. I don't love Philadelphia as much as other teams do. I know they can do some things on offense. I don't love their defense as much as other people do. I think the Colts at home with Andrew Luck coming off a loss, I think the Colts rebound here and get the win. I think the Colts beat Philadelphia on Monday Night Football. So I like Indianapolis -3 over the Eagles on Monday night. So those are your picks for Week 2 of the NFL. Real quick on the U.S. Open yesterday, Cilic from Croatia beats Nishikori from Japan 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. Great performance by Cilic. I didn't see this coming at all. I mean, he played really well in this U.S. Open. Nishikori, who had a great run, looked like he ran out of gas last night. So congratulations to Cilic from Croatia. He wins his first U.S. Open. He's coached by Goran Ivanisevic, by the way, the old tennis pro. So nice job by Cilic there. As far as baseball last night, Detroit had a huge win at home against Kansas City. They had to have it. Big win for Detroit. Pittsburgh beat Philadelphia. You know, Pittsburgh's fighting for that wild card. Washington beat Atlanta. Big loss for Atlanta. And the Angels stomped out Cleveland. The Angels are playing just unbelievable ball. Any loss Cleveland has now is a tough one because Cleveland is trying to play catch-up. So the Angels beat Cleveland last night. If you're looking for some basketball today, I don't know how much you guys get into this, the World Championships of Basketball. I'm sorry, it's now the World Cup of Basketball. The United States plays Slovenia in the quarterfinals. We're down to our final 8 teams. USA against Slovenia, Lithuania against Turkey from Barcelona today. Then tomorrow from Madrid, you have Spain against France, Brazil against Serbia. We're down to our final 8 teams. To me, this is not the Olympics. The Olympics is so much better than the World Cup of Basketball. I mean, the U.S., you know, first of all, so many guys for the U.S. team have, you know, not played, have defected, have gotten hurt. I mean, you had Durant stepping away, so Kevin Love didn't want to play. So you don't have the real A team for the U.S. like you have in the Olympics, so that takes a little luster off of it for me. Plus, so many of these games are blowouts. I mean, every game I've watched the USA, they've blown out teams. Same thing with Spain. They're blowing teams out left and right. You're going to probably get a USA-Spain final, which will be a good final in Madrid. Spain, all their top guys are playing. They are at home, so I do give them a chance against the USA. They have the Gasol brothers. They have the big front line, but that's what you're looking at. Expect the USA and Spain to get to the finals, and then from there, I think it's a coin toss. You know, it could go either way from there. So if you're looking for some basketball, USA, Slovenia today in your World Cup of Basketball. Okay, you guys are all set. You guys are all caught up. As far as tomorrow, we are going to do our college football picks. It is going to be a rough week picking college football. There are not many big games. All you need to know about college football this week is they are having college game day in Fargo, North Dakota, for North Dakota State against some school I never heard of. I had to look up where they were located. So that's how bad of a week it is in, you know, college football. And this is not to take away from North Dakota State. They are a very nice program. But when college game day is in Fargo, North Dakota to cover North Dakota State, you know it is a light week, you know, everywhere else around the country. So we'll do some college football picks tomorrow. You guys enjoy the games tonight. You got a little baseball, maybe a little World Cup of basketball. We'll do our college picks tomorrow. You guys stay safe. Enjoy the games. Talk to you tomorrow. Take care.